So tonight is our Light the Night Gala, Sanare's first fundraiser since 2019. We're really excited to actually have everybody in the same space again. Our focus tonight, of course, is on coming together as a community to support survivors in their healing, in walking the healing path, in focusing on reconciliation and on increasing our monthly donors. We're extraordinarily thankful for our government partners, for our ongoing corporate donors. What we're also looking at increasing is our partnership with community. Community is really key. We believe that together we can. And small donations, small monthly donations make a huge impact when they all come together to make a change. So tonight is a celebration of survivors healing and on community coming together. We will have 180 people at the Esplanade tonight celebrating survivors and walking that path with them. So the funding is going to Sanare's general programs and services. So that could be our clinical program, which provides up to 24 sessions to an individual who survived sexual violence. Our child advocacy center, which supports children who've experienced sexual abuse, extreme physical abuse, extreme neglect. Our education program, which is a preventative measure towards ending sexual violence and violence. Our Involvement Men's Leadership Program, which is about supporting young men in leadership. And our outreach, police and court support programs so that people don't have to navigate the justice system alone. In Alberta, the stat of sexual violence is almost 1 in 2 women will experience sexual abuse before the age of 18, and almost 1 in 4 boys will experience the exact same thing before the age of 18. Sexual violence is a real issue, and together we can make change. If anyone is looking for support or help, Sanare is here for you so that we can walk that path together. And all you have to do is call us at 403-548-2717 or email us and we can get it started.
Good evening, everyone. I am Elder Lance Scout, and it is my pleasure to be your MC this evening. My job as an MC is our task here tonight is to keep us on track and ensure that you remain entertained. On behalf of the Sanare Centre, we are thrilled that you are here with us this evening to support the incredible work the Centre does across southeastern Alberta. I would like to invite Christina Johnson, the Executive Director the Sanare Centre, to say a few warm words for you. Give her a round of applause. Let's welcome her in.
Thank you, Lance, and good evening, everyone, and welcome. We're really excited to have you in this space again. This is the first Light the Night Gala since 2019. COVID put a little bit of a stop on that, so we're ready to come back together and celebrate. So I'm so happy to see everybody in person, all of our friends and family, and those of us that have walked the healing path with survivors. I'm really honored to open up this evening with a land acknowledgement. Sanare acknowledges and honors the traditional territories of the First Nations people of Treaty 7, Treaty 4, and the Métis people who share a deep history with this land. We recognize and honor the land, the history, the ways of being, and our relationship with First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people within Alberta as we forge together towards a relationship of reconciliation, respect, understanding, and healing. Sanare Centre has been serving our community since 2015 as a standalone center, and just brace yourself. Sanare Centre has been providing services as a community collaborative before then for 30 years. That's a really long time. Since becoming a standalone center approximately 8 years ago, now this is another one to brace yourself, we've served approximately 40,000 people, 47 men, women, and children, and people of all genders. Now, what we've seen is an increasing need, and it's becoming more and more complex. Personal situations and deeper need in all corners of our region. If you know me, I often joke and say that I've named my car. Her name is Camilla. And that's because, I say to Camilla as we hit the road together as we travel, Camilla, if you be good to me, I'll be good to you. If we make it back, it'll be synthetic. So that is often what I tell Camilla as we head out on our journey. Sanare serves all the way up to Bazzano, to Oyen, Saskatchewan border, US border, and then all the way to Grassy Lake. So if you think about that, we have a very broad reach. And 40,000 people is not far off the population of Medicine Hat. So in recent years, since our last gala, we've been really busy. So we didn't throw a gala, we didn't throw a party, but we've been busy. We rebranded to better represent who we are and who we serve. We moved to a larger location to accommodate our clients' needs and to properly accommodate our expanded work as the region's Child Advocacy Centre. And we expanded our reach and our partnerships across the region to be able to allow better access and people across the region. And notably, we have increased our prevention efforts, meaning what we really want to do is stop sexual violence before it happens. We try to be very humble, but I can't help but brag that we are leaders in the area of primary prevention, not only in Alberta, but nationally. And some of our programs, specifically the Evolvement Leadership Program for young men and boys, is receiving some national attention. As the evening goes on tonight, we hope that you learn more about us. We hope to spark your curiosity, and we hope you feel compelled to support our work across the community. These are not easy conversations to have. They're not easy discussions. And here's the thing, we know statistically, and this is an Alberta stat, and I promise you I actually worked as part of this research study. In Alberta, almost 1 in 2 women, 44% of Albertans, will experience sexual violence before the age of 18. And almost 1 in 4 men will experience sexual violence before their 18th birthday. This means when we look around the room, when we look at each other, we know that there are a lot of survivors in this space tonight. We know there's a lot of people who've lived this and are living the difficult healing journey. And we want you to know that we're there to help. If any difficulties arise, there are some members of our staff. Over there, standing by the podium, is Madison, right there. And if there are some difficulties that arrive, Madison will be able to help you or direct you to someone who can. Thank you, Madison. We could help you tonight, and we can also set you up for in the future. Also tonight, we have an impact speaker. Her name is Amy, who will be sharing her story with us. And we want everyone to be aware that in this case, it can be a difficult part of the agenda. We would like to take a moment to recognize some of the folks that are already supporting us. Of course, all of you are. But those that have supported us specifically this weekend, JVN Structures and New Rock Development, thank you so much for your sponsorship of this event. It is also an honor this evening to mention that our team at Sanare is also doing the work of learning and a lot of unlearning as we explore our personal and collective journey in reconciliation. I would like to invite Elder Winston Wadsworth to open our evening up in a good way. Thank you.
Okay. Kit connects much. I say hello to all of you in here. And I want to thank the organizers of this gathering for inviting me to be a part of it. Lance and I We toured Medicine Hat today. And it's such a beautiful city. People are kind to us. Everywhere we went, we meet people, they acknowledge us. So I want to say a prayer in my language. And all of you, while I'm praying, hold hands right around and pray along with me. Pray in your own way. This makes our prayers strong when we all connect ourselves. Ayos tabiyo. Ayo na pinato sikik sta puchipan kusikoik. O mataba po dagyan nakana kimakaniko kuy kanakanaw yan sikakatu siwa ka kukumikiso. Ayos tabiyo. Ayo nakanato itabiyo ka kaksan katsmako ni kakanaks kusi. Anje kizito pispoa nuksak ko manchester suisokubyak. Nakakaksapan katsmo pan nakakastis tumiya kita opio kita so kinakyo kanakita kya opio ka. Mako kribi kuisuka pisawaki. Mako kribi kitsina pata pisa tapi moaks ukro poaks. Ayo kimaktokin. No, kanet katsmana kaki do akakanaki piuto akakaksi tamas sa pubakaya ni kau moksuko ki tamas kaya kuwa west. Ayo kimato kinana ni kakana suka bika. No kusi katumo sa gano sams na nikskaki. Nitako iksukuan na nikskaki. Akson was 60 anika kwa mutsi sinika kispumutsi sinia kumimutsi sinika. Koko sinone kanika kakumanista skrima tsaya anika kmuksoko ikak. No taksa tapi psikrika pia kenikse puma pi kanika kanasuka pi muksoko kanika sakutsapo akaya. Ayo kimatoki. Spumukak, anakaki makita piwakak. Pakukutsasawa kenikaki, akastuikak. Maksasamitsina peta pisa, uksokuawak, tsetapimuawak, ayukimatukina, anakopakina, kanakipitakiwakak. O kinukai soksis ketu paket kanito tosi ani ko mutto tsi anakawa ko katsu kanikana doa pik aksika estape skini pa kibata pisin anakso wa pitsika to pa kanika musuko ike kusako sko spika kutsapo akos ayu kimatokin o kiaksipäätä piisini kaamutani niistä watsemaan.
If I could have you all kind of rise and you, from your left to your right, you want to give either give each other a hug, the person on your left and the person on your right. All right? Yeah.
So thank you, Elder Winston, for those thoughtful words to help center us this evening in our spaces tonight, to set our hearts and minds to learning and enjoyment that we'll experience together this evening. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our friends at Miawasan and Métis Nation number 8 for attending this evening, as long as MLA Justin Wright and City Councillor Cassie Hyder this evening for joining us. We also have representation from Medicine Hat Police Service and so many others that I'm probably missing, and you can get me later. The work of Sanare Centre is often done quite quietly. As a matter of fact, what we often hear is, I didn't even know you existed until I needed you. And we do move. We move purposefully, quietly, and privately as we support the families and people in their healing journey. We see our role in this work as being helpful guides and partners, and we're here to help focus on healing, not on being flashy, although those balloons might say something different tonight. Helping to heal community, to prevent the instances of harm from occurring, and to help helping those the journey of healing from sexual abuse or sexual violence, child abuse, or harm. But rather than me go on forever, because if you know me, I can talk a lot, we have someone here that has a little experience with what we do. So I would like to invite Amy up to tell you about how our work has impacted her. Please come up, Amy.
Good evening, everyone. Please bear with me because I've cried every time I've done this speech. So first off, I would like to thank Sanare for providing me with the opportunity to speak tonight. It's such an honor. Back 5 years ago, if someone would have told me that I would be standing up here talking about how I survived a traumatic sexual assault and healed in a healthy way, I would have not believed them. In 2019, I graduated university and took my dream job as a recreation therapist in Kenora, Ontario. When I first moved there, I thought I may live there for the rest of my life, as it was so beautiful and it was so welcoming. I never once thought that I would leave feeling damaged, worthless, and ashamed. I felt so much shame and kept thinking about what I must have done wrong to deserve this. Was it my outfit that I was wearing, or maybe my friendliness towards people? There must have been a reason for why this happened to me, and what was it? I truly wondered how I would move on from this. Would I speak my truth, or just keep it to myself? While in shock, I decided to confide in a friend who convinced me to go to the local police station to give a verbal statement. I was still in denial that this was my life and I had to deal with it. I knew that I was not ready to share my experience, but the fear of telling somebody no or that I didn't want to do something overpowered me. I listened to what somebody else thought was best for me. Going to the police led me to get in contact with victim assistance. They were able to guide me in the direction for appropriate services that I could utilize for my healing journey. I moved back to Medicine Hat a couple weeks after, as I was struggling to function in my day-to-day life, and my family wanted to be there. One of the services that was offered to me in the Hat was SARC, now known as Sanare. I never heard of the organization at the time, and I was fearful of reaching out. Deep down, I knew that I needed support, in particular support from a professional and someone who is objective in my life. With my own convincing, I built up the strength and the courage to reach out. I called the organization, and we set up an in-person intake within a couple weeks. I didn't know what to expect going into this meeting, as I've never gone through this, nor did I know anyone who'd utilized the services. To say I was scared would be an understatement. I was scared that I wouldn't be heard, believed, or that I would have to constantly be reliving what had happened to me, but it ended up being the complete opposite. From the first meeting, it was so welcoming and not judgmental. I knew that it was a safe place for me to talk about what I was experiencing. I continually went weekly, then switching to once a month. Throughout this time, I never felt like I was a burden or that I wasn't validated. There was never any pressure on me to share my experience or talk about anything that I wasn't comfortable sharing. Each session was dependent on what I needed that day. It gave me the opportunity to have a voice again. I learned so much about myself. I learned how to set boundaries and take back who I was as an individual. I struggled a lot and had many triggers. Some included smells, certain people, vehicles, and rooms. I was constantly having nightmares, flashbacks, and trust issues. At times, I just wanted my life to be over. I didn't want to continue in life if this is what it entailed. I truly hit rock bottom with minimal hope for things to get better. This organization was able to assist me in coping with these triggers, dealing with those flashbacks, working through all emotions and much more. They provided me with so many different tools to manage through life again. They gave me strength when I didn't have any. This was a very depressive and low time in my life. I held on to the hope that things would heal with time. I healed with time, but mainly I healed, and I'm standing up here today thanks to this amazing organization. It was my journey and part of my story, but you all played a huge part in it. I don't know where I would be without your services, so I thank you for helping me and helping all the other survivors. Thank you for providing me with a safe place to deal with my trauma, allowing me to be heard and believed. I don't know if there is always a reason on why things happen, but I do believe that this has made me stronger. I've now been able to help others through their healing journeys by becoming a sexual assault peer worker, and this is mainly due to your support. I want to finish with something that I wrote in my last few weeks of one-on-one sessions. Counseling has forever changed my life. I will forever be grateful for my time at SARC and with Amy. Always remember you are worthy, you are strong, and you are loved. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you for so bravely telling your story this evening. It takes so much courage to be this vulnerable. There are so many things that stood out for me as you told your story, and of course the bravery and the courage. And of course, as an organization, we thank you for the honor and the privilege for letting us walk beside you and then now behind you as you shine. We're really excited to see some of the things that you've done. So thank you for that. And I'm super excited to hear that you are now a sexual assault peer supporter.
The final stage of healing is giving back. And so now you walk with us in a different capacity, and that's in helping others heal. Once we heal ourselves, we can heal others. So as we supported Amy, of course, this is an example of the important work that the Sanare Centre team undertakes each and every day. We work alongside those in our community on their healing journey. So we're not having a big fancy auction tonight. We're just not going to do it. But we're going to ask you for something else. For us to provide a full counseling program for someone who is seeking help, it actually doesn't cost that much. Well, to some, it costs a whole lot. It costs $2,880 to Sanare to be able to provide somebody with 24 sessions. That $2,880 allows us to provide a safe place for someone to come when they're seeking help, to access qualified professionals like Amy mentioned she needed to support her healing journey, and to provide the necessary resources and information to help people through, and to ensure that we have the appropriate counseling program in place, and to engage other partners on the journey that our partners require. We are just one piece. To help change the trajectory of someone's healing journey requires support. And we are super, super grateful to our government and our corporate partners and the individual partners that we already have. And as I mentioned earlier, the demand is growing and the complexity continues to increase. Now, you've probably heard this quote before, but it's one of my very favorite. I can't help it. Margaret Mead said, "Never underestimate the power of a small group of committed people to change the world." In fact, it's the only thing that ever did. So our purpose in coming together tonight really is to show solidarity while having a good time. And we invite you to join us to support those who are walking the healing path by becoming a monthly donor. So let's talk quickly about how you can make an impact. So I already said to support one person to heal through our clinical program, it costs approximately $2,880, give or take, because some people need some more support and some people need less. Now, from a monthly giving perspective, that is, even my social worker brain did this math, thanks to a calculator, that's $240 per month to assist one person to heal in 1 year, so 24 sessions. Now, you may be able to help one person to heal by donating that $240 per month, and for some of us, that's a whole lot. Now, we already got you to hug at your tables. So this shouldn't be as awkward as I thought it might be. Just have a good look at the people at your table. Just look around your table. There's 8 of you at your table, give or take. We've got some people that are still trickling in. Have a good look, make some eye contact. I saw that a little, how you doing? It's okay, we'll just make sure there's, So here's the thing. If each of you at your table, there's 8 of you at the table, 8 times 30 is $2,880. So maybe individually we can't support one person to go through our programs, but maybe together with a monthly donation of $30, maybe you could. And maybe that's not even attainable. Maybe if you think I can do although let me just say like $30 a month, that was less than your ticket. Oh, and also my son, when I take him to A&W, he's an athlete. Let me tell you, I spend more than $30 at A&W with coupons because I'm a social worker and I'm cheap. Okay. But $10 per month, those people that know me are laughing really hard, but $10 per month at $100 or $120 per session, so it's $120 approximately per session for therapy. At $10 a month, you could pay for one counseling session a year to help someone heal. Makes a huge difference. When we make a difference for one person, we actually are making a difference in their world. So your monthly donation will help secure supports for the 1 and 2 women and the 1 in 4 men that could use our help. There are more than 100, actually, I wrote down 150 people in this room. Turns out there's 178 of you here, approximately. 178 of you came out to support us. So if we look at that, at 150, because I'm not going to do social work math right now, just so you know, there was 150 of you, about 60 of you would have experienced sexual violence. So our goal tonight at 178 is to have 100 of you sign up for monthly giving. On your tables, you will see there are little donation cards. And we would love that you fill them in and think about donating monthly. There's also QR codes on your table. You can also use that to sign up through Canada Help to be able to support people's healing journey. So our goal is 100 of you sign up tonight to give as much as you can, of course. And we'll update you through the night as to how our goal goes. So with that, we would like to invite you to help us help people walk as a community comes together. And we'd like to ask you to help us light the night for survivors by providing them the programs and services that they need. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina, for helping us better understand the work of the Sanare Centre and the impact your team has every day across our region. Thank you to the entire team. Let's give them another round of applause. Well, folks, I encourage you to grab those donation cards. I'll encourage you now, if you can grab those cards and do what you can to help us reach our goal tonight.